Beneath Vatican City lies a labyrinth of secrets, 50 miles of forbidden shelves. Inside are letters from kings, Galileo's trial, even hidden files on the Nazis, and chilling records of possession that inspired The Exorcist, but 99% remains sealed. This is the story of the Vatican Archives. Chapter 1. The Vault Beneath God. It sits beneath the holiest city on earth, a vast underground maze of shelves, scrolls, and secrets. The Vatican Apostolic Archive, officially established in 1612 by Pope Paul V, it was once known by a more ominous name, the Vatican Secret Archive. Not a myth, not a conspiracy. This place is real. Hidden beneath Vatican City, the archive contains over 53 miles of shelving, with more than 35,000 volumes stored within. Some documents date back over 1,200 years. Fragile records written on parchment, vellum, and leather, preserved in total secrecy. Letters between kings and popes, ancient maps, edicts of war and forgiveness. But unless you're one of a select few scholars, granted access only after months of approval, you will never see it. Even those who are allowed inside can only request specific items, one at a time. They are not allowed to browse. They cannot photograph. They must work under surveillance. And there's a catch. You must already know what you're looking for. But how do you request a document you don't even know exists? For centuries, the archive was shrouded in myth, thanks in part to its name, the Archivum Secretum Vaticanum. In Latin, secretum doesn't mean forbidden, it means private. So in 2019, Pope Francis quietly renamed it. From Secret Archive to the Apostolic Archive. No content changed, but the new title made it sound less suspicious. Yet rumors only grew louder, because despite the Church's insistence that it holds nothing sensational, the archive remains 99% inaccessible. Its known contents are impressive enough. Letters from Michelangelo begging for payment, the trial transcript of Galileo, condemned for daring to say the earth moves, handwritten correspondences from emperors, explorers, even Henry VIII, but that's only what's been confirmed. The rest, uncatalogued, unread, locked in sealed rooms, buried deeper than most will ever know. As one Vatican official once said, "The archive is not open to all, because not all truth is ready for the world." Chapter 2. The secrets they may be hiding. What lies beyond the sealed doors? The Church says it's mostly old letters, tax records, dusty administration. But that hasn't stopped the world from wondering, because stories have leaked. Stories of documents too dangerous to be seen, too disruptive to release. And over time, these whispers have grown louder. Some claim the Vatican Archive holds banned scriptures, entire Gospels removed from the Bible, like the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, which paints her not as a prostitute, but as one of Jesus' closest disciples, or the Gospel of Judas, where Judas doesn't betray Christ. He fulfills a secret mission. Other texts, like the Gospel of Thomas, hint at a far more mystical Christianity, one focused on personal revelation rather than blind obedience. If these writings are real, and if they contradict church teaching, is it any wonder they were locked away? Then there's the Devil's Letter. In 1676, a Sicilian nun named Sister Maria Crocifissa claimed she had been possessed and awoke one morning with a letter written in a strange, unknown script. Scholars have partially decoded it. The words are chaotic, anti-Christian, and deeply unsettling. But some believe the original is hidden deep within the Vatican. And what about exorcism files? Transcripts of real church-sanctioned rituals, some successful, some not. We know the Vatican trains exorcists, but we don't know what they've seen or what they've locked away. Others speak of UFO files, claims that the Church holds evidence of extraterrestrial contact. The Vatican even operates its own observatory. But when asked about alien life, officials give only silence or smiles. And then there are the Nazi documents, real correspondences between the Church and Hitler's regime, kept classified for decades. Some were released in 2020, but many researchers say the most damning files are still sealed. So what's really in the archive? Just yellowed paper and forgotten ink? Or a hidden record of what the Church fears the most, the truth? As one anonymous priest allegedly said, "They keep the past locked away because the truth would shatter what we've been taught." Chapter 3. The Forbidden Gate. The Vatican says the archive exists to preserve history, to protect fragile texts, to keep records safe. But over 400 years of sealed documents, limited access, and unexplained denials have led many to believe something else. That the archive doesn't just protect knowledge, it controls it. Think about it. If a single scroll, a single letter, a single unknown gospel challenges the story we've all been told, what happens to faith? What happens to authority? The archive is not just paper and shelves. It is a filter, a gatekeeper, a silent hand that decides what the world gets to remember and what it must forget. We like to believe that history is fixed, but it's not. It's edited by those who hold the pen or the key. Some believe the truth is buried not because it's myth, but because it's too real, too disruptive, too powerful, too unmanageable for institutions built on certainty. Why else would entire section remain uncatalogued? Why else would so many scholars be denied without explanation? Maybe somewhere in those endless shelves is a letter, or a map, or a record of something that never made it into the history books because it couldn't. Not without changing everything, the Vatican won't say. And maybe that's the point. Because as one archivist once whispered, maybe what's hidden there isn't dangerous because it's false. Maybe it's dangerous because it's true. The Vatican archives remain sealed for now. Subscribe to No Pass Land and join us as we uncover the mysteries that still shape our world.